Welcome back, y'all. It is Tuesday, which means it is time for tank reviews. Now, in the next few weeks, I will finally be setting up this 3.5 gallon bow front that I have been meaning to get to for a while now. So today I figured we could check out some bow front tanks online and see if we can get some inspiration and great ideas for maybe how to scape this tank out. Also, real quick, next week I am planning to do another subscriber edition, so if you haven't already sent in your photos or short video clips of your fish tanks, then I will have all that information of how to submit that in the description box below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out some bow front aquariums. Okay, so this first one is absolutely gorgeous. Like I just absolutely love this. I love this tank. It's just so heavily planted. I love the driftwood. It's a gorgeous, absolute gorgeous setup. I really, really like this one. I'm giving this one hands down a 5 out of 5. This next one looks like maybe it was freshly planted because it looks like the plants really haven't filled in very much yet. But overall, it's a pretty nicely done tank. I do wish that the plants were a little bit more grown out, a little bit larger, but it's really well put together. I would give this one a 4 out of 5. I really like the setup, and I can see once the plants start really growing and filling in how awesome this tank is gonna look in the future. Next up, we have another tank that looks like it's really well put together. I don't know how large this tank is to have goldfish, but it does look like it's a pretty good sized tank, so I would assume that they know what they're doing, especially with how well this is scaped out. Love the driftwood, love the river rocks, love the whole setup. This one, definitely 5 out of 5. Here, this one, I just don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like they need some more height in the back of the tank, that it just looks almost too uniformed with all the different plants in here to where nothing really stands out, nothing really pops. I do like the driftwood, and I love that it's a planted tank, but it just really feels like it's lacking something. All the plants are all the exact same color, and I don't know, it doesn't really pop. So I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. Here we have a little betta tank. I like the decor. They only really have a moss ball, it looks like. It looks like the rest are fake plants in the background. I feel like it's too cluttered in there. Like they've just taken up all the space in the tank. Now, I like a lot of things to look at in a tank, but for such a small space, this is a little bit too much. I like the decor that they have in there. I just feel like maybe they need a larger tank if they're gonna put this much stuff in there. I just think that it needs a little bit bigger of a tank if you're gonna put that much in there. And a few more live plants would be nice too. So this one, I'm gonna have to go with a 2 out of 5 because I feel like they're just filling up so much space that it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to have a large enough tank for the betta to have room to swim around in. This tank, I absolutely think is really stunning. Even though it's really simplistic in its design, and it doesn't really have a whole lot to it, I really, really just love the way they did this. And that huge piece of driftwood is just amazing. If you can't tell, I really, really like driftwood. And the more unique a piece of driftwood is, the more amazing I think it is. I love the way that this is put together. But I think this is a really beautifully done tank, so I would give it a 5 out of 5. I've got to say, pretty much all the tanks that I found today were actually really, really good tanks. They were decent tanks. For once, I didn't run across any like nightmarish tanks. I think maybe because it is bow front, there's not a lot of like, I guess maybe there's not a lot of really, really small bow fronts out there that are gonna be aquascaped. So I really, really, really enjoyed today and not ending up coming across a million nightmarish tanks. That was a nice treat. That was a really nice treat. All these tanks were actually pretty decent, especially compared to some of these other just absolutely nightmarish tanks that I've come across in the past. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!